how many of you have actually watched the channel trailer for my channel here? It's called Hair Loss Hurting Your Confidence? Maybe I Can Help. So it's a pretty popular video. Not everyone's seen it, but that was something I filmed back in April when I was still shaving my head. I went ahead and edited a video. It's one of my few edited videos that I did. I thought, well, if I'm going to edit a video, I might as well make it my channel trailer, since it takes hours to do a 2-minute video if it's edited. Here's a comment that I received this week from Derek Martini on my channel trailer. Hair loss hurting your confidence? Maybe I can help. Here's the comment, quote, "Dude, one of the hardest things that I have done is to shave my head. I realized it was time, and I let it go to the wind. I was glad to have it as long as I did. I actually took pictures of it step by step. I don't regret it for a minute. Oddly enough, I found out that chicks really do dig scars." And yeah, there's reports that back that up. There's something particularly masculine about a man who has a scar, especially on his face. Even more odd, dudes like them more. I have a lot on my head that my hair was covering up. All I can say is, if you were on that cusp of hair loss, shave it down to 1/8 of an inch or 0 and ask your mom, LOL. I think what he's saying is, you got to have your mom's approval first. And, you know, even for me pushing 40, I at least have to give my mom a warning if I'm going to shave my hair, because I think ultimately, and a lot of people are this way, they see a guy who still pretty much has most of his hair, and most people wouldn't see me and think, oh, that's a guy with a receding hairline. Think, well, why would you shave your hair off? You can still grow hair. I think that's, so yeah, you got to warn your mom first. So I agree, that's important. In fact, right before I shaved it off earlier in this year, I actually had her as a guest on my channel and let her know in real time, like without warning her, what the video's about, and told her that. That's how important it is. So, but ultimately I want to go back to really, for what I see as the main takeaway from this, is that you ultimately learn something from shaving off your hair. And I made myself a note about this specifically, that what I said, sometimes I write down notes on the comments that you leave, because that's what I think of. And so imagine how involved I am. But ultimately, I'm doing this because this is an ongoing conversation that leads to other comments and other videos. But what my commentary on that I wrote down on my paper was this: shaving your hair teaches you who you are. And that's why I have always suggested for anyone who is bothered by the thought of hair loss, whether you're actually losing your hair or not, and there's so many guys that are 17, 18, starting to have some temples recede, or maybe you're 20, 21 and you're starting to work on your Norwood too, as I was at age 20, and really thinking, oh, it could end in the next couple of years. And it could. There's a good chance it won't, because look at me, pushing 40, this is still my hair. And in theory, even my temples started receding when I was a teenager. So here I am. But ultimately, once you take the thing away, you start learning who you actually are and how much of your identity was actually wrapped up in the hair. And I think that's why I'm such a proud supporter of, for anyone, why spend all this time, energy, and money trying to save your hair? You could just shave it off. And yeah, maybe you don't have the perfect head shape like people say that I have. You don't have the right facial features. You don't have the whatever it is that you think you need. Okay, I'll agree, not everyone has the perfect head for it. But ultimately, when people get rid of the thing that causes all this anxiety, they realize it really wasn't that important to begin with. In fact, it only enhances who they actually are. And that's the irony and the paradox. It's that facing your fear that helps you realize, why was I making a big deal out of this? No, granted, I wouldn't have chosen that thing, but this isn't bad at all. So yeah, I definitely would suggest to anyone, and at least once a week, I'll have a new comment pop up, and it'll be someone else saying, Nick, I shaved my hair off this week. I've been watching your videos and you inspired me, and I'm so happy I did it. Like, that's one of my most reoccurring comments at this point. And that doesn't make me a hypocrite for choosing to have hair right now. I mean, if anything, it only proves my point that much more, that I know that personally I like having a shaved head the most, but I can still grow hair, and I'm not forced to continue shaving my hair just because maybe it does look best that way or I like it the most. I'm not tied down to that either way. I can still have the freedom to choose how my hair how I want to while I still have it. But ultimately, I can choose that, and I suggest it for anyone. If you've never shaved your hair before, then there's that much more of a burden in front of you that you're carrying around, because you've got in your head, what if I go bald? That's your fear, right? And what's interesting is, well, let's find out. Now, I understand that when you still have most of your hair intact and you shave your hair off at a 0 guard, it's not the same as someone who literally can't grow hair up here anymore. I understand it's not exactly the same. It's quite different. I fully accept that. But still, it gives you a glimpse. It helps to answer that question, what if? And again, I think for so many guys who actually take that leap, even if it's just an experiment, granted, it's been 7 months since I've shaved it all off. So worst case scenario, 7 months later, you can have hair this long, you know? And it'd be worth it though. It'd be worth it for you to do that, because then you don't have to walk around with a case of the what ifs. You can walk around with a case of, oh, now I know. And this isn't bad at all. Your comments belong right here.